Hey, hello and welcome back to another stream. I I have a new headset. I still gotta get used to it. I can hear myself way more clear, which is a bit weird. I'm still not as used to my voice, and I have to experiment with the new microphone, which, because I didn't get a standalone mic again, I got a headset that is really good audio wise, but also has a great mic apparently. But I have to use a better noise suppression, which sadly uses more CPU, and I don't actually know how much more, and I would like to compare that in real time real quick. It's going to sound pretty shit for a second if I do that. If I use that. Does that actually... You can hear a lot of background noise probably. That doesn't actually seem to change CPU usage. RRN noise is... there's no significant change in CPU usage. I don't know why I didn't use RRN noise before. Also, the mic is potentially a bit too loud. I think it's overdriving slightly if I have it this near to my face. So I have to experiment with the optimal distance here. But it doesn't seem all too bad. I mean, I can get it... oh, it has a really constant, like, peak. Like, I can barely get it above minus, like, 3. So it's really... it has a really nice constant audio level. I might just boost the lower loudnesses like I currently have when I'm talking normally. We're at, like, minus 15 to minus 10. For like sharper sounds like T's, I get up to like minus 5 or higher. Or higher, yeah. And it does have a really decent pop filter though. I'm practically spitting at the microphone and it doesn't detect that really well. Might also be RNN noise, I can barely say that. Well, anyways, it does seem to be pretty good quality wise, the sound. So I'm going to have to do some proper testing with that, and determine good audio levels, because I have no idea if this is like decent, if it even sounds good. I might have to add like a compressor or an expander or whatever the hell, like I did on the old one. It did make it sound really, really nice, but I think this one should come close without any filters. I've seen videos online of people only using the raw mic input, and I think it might just be recording background noise, and that's why it's probably opening up, because it is an extremely sensitive mic. Now I might actually sound a lot different. And somebody sent me a voice message, which I have to listen to. Now, does this mute actually... oh, it does seem to work. And not like the old headset, it doesn't give an extremely loud spike in the noise, it just turns off. Yeah. Oh right, also both of the controls are inverted. Both the mute and the volume are inverted. And the sound of this thing is... Does it allow me to use Dolby? Probably doesn't. I could buy it for headphones. Shit, I'd have to buy a Dolby. Maybe I'll buy that. It's only 18 bucks for apparently a lifetime for one license, so that is pretty decent. That sounds like a good deal. I mean, currently I'm using Windows Sonic. I don't even know what Windows and Sonic have to do together, but anyways, today we're going to be coding again. And as we all know, oh, now it did overdrive quite a bit. I think it's too near still. Anyways, it doesn't change in loudness very much. No matter where I put the mic, it changes more depending on no, it just changes the peak slightly. It doesn't like hit the limiter that quickly. Anyways, I think we've done every single thing that I can do easily in the first two books of the series of books. I did continue reading, but I didn't actually find any notices of new items in the next about 100 pages of the third book that I haven't yet read. However far I did read, but I did read quite a bit for like an hour last week after the stream, I think. I did not actually find that much. Actually, I didn't find anything at all, which is weird. However, I did. Oh shit. There is actually something we could add. And I don't know if we should, because I've not added weapons yet. And no, I'm stupid. Chronologically ordered. The next thing to add, we disregard the things that I have no idea how to even go about adding them. The last thing I added was the rocket potion. And then the fermented potato and grass stew. Right, that was the last things I added. Then the next last thing would be blocking 2 enchantment. That's also blocking 1. But I think we're just gonna skip that because I don't have any idea what the enchantment even is supposed to do. I think it just blocks attacks. It is basically the same as absorption. Weirdly enough, that already existed, but or maybe it does something slightly different. I don't really remember. Maybe it just blocks a percentage of attacks instead of a percentage of damage. Who knows? But, or maybe no, absorption doesn't exist as a potion. Maybe it is just a potion of absorption that they called blocking. Oh no, I'm stupid. This is an enchantment. So we'd have to add a mechanic that blocks a percentage of damage dealt to the player or entity holding a specific a sword or other weapon with a specific enchantment of blocking 2. or 1. But the highest mention, I wrote down the highest mention of everything. And this is mentioned up until level 2. There is also something, which is the potion of stone skin, which is mentioned right at the beginning of book 3. Which is supposed to have a maximum level of 5, as mentioned in the book. At least a maximum level as so far mentioned. I am documenting this pretty decently. That's why I write down the page numbers and book numbers. So, the next thing I know how to add is another freaking soup, and another soup, and then a sandwich, and then spider legs, and then a pie, and then a drink. And I am very much looking forward to that drink. But I think it's time to open up the mod food component. Exactly, the mod food components, as well as customs to items. Actually something that we're probably only going to need for the next stew. So in the mod items, I actually need to register a new soup. Actually, that is crazy. The next thing I'm adding is mod soup. Mod soup. And as far as I know, these don't have any mentioned textures or like any in the book visible textures. However, I might be wrong. Book 3 should be from seeds to swords. That is book 2. That was the last thing added in book 2. That is only like 2/3 of the book. Book 3 is crafting alliances. Right? Exactly. We were at page 144. So I have to go back to page 18 to find out how this shit actually looks. Oh shit. Mud soup does have a texture. It is soup. Brown soup. And I should be able to add it relatively simply. Should be really simple to add. And tell you all that. It is basically a copy of the grass stew. And I intend to make it similar to the grass stew, except that I intend... It is literal mud, right? And as far as I know, it's called mud soup. And not mud stew. It's mud soup, which makes me personally think... Can I change the res? We're already at low res, but I can see everything in like 4K. Even though I'm streaming in full HD and the display is definitely also not very much sharper. Anyways. I've also recently noticed that I might have actually done this without anyone ever really seeing anything. Which is crazy, because I don't think you can really see much. Which is kind of crazy. What? Change the riz. Ah, yeah, no. I did almost say that. Also, Lumpus. Do I sound... does my mic sound different than the old one? Because I didn't test it. I'm basically using raw... like, the input is just raw dogged, basically. I don't have any effects on it. Did I say Riz? I might have said Riz. That's because my Riz is so unmatched. Yeah. I do. It sounds more. Really? It does. It is apparently like comparable to larger larger mics. I don't even know what the old mic had, like what the specs were, but this one's pretty decent. That I know. That's for sure. Yeah. That is actually crazy. However, that doesn't change that I still have to cough. It does? That is crazy. Even the coughing sounded crispy, I bet. Deluxe. Well, I did also find Nintendo headsets next to this one. So most of them are pretty cheap. Like really cheap. Like way too cheap. Weirdest thing I saw was a piranha plant webcam. I've never seen anything like this, and I don't even know why a Switch needs a web... Oh no. Didn't they add something that needs a webcam? I forgot what though. Anyways, the freaking plant is a webcam. I thought it was some sort of new massive amiibo or something. But it is a webcam. And that is kind of crazy. Crazy. I need to find something out. How bad do I make a literal soup made of dirt? How bad do I make it? Like, I have a soup that is made from literal grass. And I don't mean the smoking type of grass, I mean the one that just grows on your freaking lawn. Alright. But wasn't that in like a specific game? Or is that just a separate thing? Because I don't even remember. Game chat, wow, that is so innovative. Rock soup. If I ever go overboard with like adding stuff that isn't actually I don't know, just random shit, I would add a rock soup. It would probably just give you damage instead of, I don't know, it just kill you instantly because you suffocated on a rock. But I can't make mud soup that good. Oh, it's just for... Oh yeah, no, then... Well, then it's... crazy. Is mud soup worse than ice cream? I think we have to make mud soup worse than ice cream, though. It looks terrible. Does the video quality look terrible, or does the entire thing look terrible? I think we're going to give this nutrition 1 and saturation of 1. I did look at it, I just don't remember.
Popped out for a minute, got caught in that useless drizzle. Brilliant. Put the kettle on twice, obviously. Nodded at a neighbor, no words. Tea's strong, biscuits soft, but still bloody nice. Weather's dreadful, life goes on. Cheers, mate.
Blood has actually turned British. I cannot believe it. Both. Okay, okay. I will after the stream. I cannot waste time on giving them views. Yes, my monthly TTS message. Also, good evening. Good evening. Or I guess a bloody nice evening or something. Is that it? I think that why is it not in full screen? What the hell? Crazy. Oh, also, I remembered I did forget something. The freaking grass stew that I made actually needs a group. So the crafting recipes unlock correctly. That's crazy. I think this is like the greatest feature ever, that we have basically cross communication between between different platforms. Absolute cinema. Doesn't read very great on the background of this though. The purple at least. Right, what do I have to add? I think that is most of it. Did I add the grass stew? I did add the grass stew in here. It's crazy. Let's try this shit. Let's see. How you TTS, you press on the channel points and then you can use TTS. Or, right? Is that the way you do it? Yes. Then you write your message. You have to press on the channel points. The channel points, the ones at the, I don't know if it's the same on, if you're on PC, I don't know where it is, but there's like a channel points thing where you have like a few, probably a few thousand points. And then that's that. Let's go, we have mud soup. Perfect.
Bomberclat.
Let's go. Now I have to craft the soup again to see if this works. And grass. So we need a few of those and a few of those. Actually, I need more bowls. Right, so that is one of these. That is the first crafting recipe. And that's the second one. So that should be exactly. Also crazy TTS. Crazy TTS, not gonna lie. Also, why does it the TTS need more balls? No bowls. It does sound like I'm saying it with a crazy accent though. I gotta admit that. Right, we have to add the item. Where is it? Grass stew. Call it mud soup. I swear I keep pressing the colon instead of the underscore. This is so stupid. Customs to item. Why do I have this open anyways? Why do I have that open also? Although the minus mod actually just doesn't need this line, which keeps throwing an error every time I save it. Right, so we have the mud soup here, and we need to add the mud soup here. And then we need to add the texture and the crafting recipe. Or mud soup. Now the question is, what does one add? Yes, Rumpus. You got a new oh, that is, oh. Why couldn't you do that before? What? A hamster? Is this some new form of animal abuse, or is the brand called Hamster? I've never heard of that before. Wait, yes to which part? Okay. Okay. That's not the worst you could have said, though. That's at least that's good. Yes. We're crafting this shit with a dirt block that is actually absolutely devious. One dirt block. Is one dirt block enough for one soup? Probably. You were you were broken. No, I need to Google that. Lumpus, did you by chance get a mouse like this? Stick drift on a mouse is actually devious. My mouse does actually have a joystick, but it's not drifting. Then what is it? Oh. What the hell? So you got an actual hamster. You got a hamster and a new keyboard. That is absolutely devious. Did you get the Razer mouse for 80 cents? No, not cents. Was that in Swiss francs? Was that? I don't even know how to say that shit in English. It was cents. Ah. That's crazy. That is actually crazy. Cents is even less though, because the euro is lower. So that is absolutely devious. Absolutely devious. Alright, anyways, I'm going to make a texture for Where the hell are the textures? Jason. Where's the textures? Oh, there. The grass stew. I'm just going to copy the grass stew. But the mod soup is different than the grass stew. We're gonna see.
Air up your ass.
Why does my TTS also not have a filter? I think you could just say whatever you want. You get ads with an ad blocker. That is absolutely devious. I should still turn off the ads. It is completely useless to me, and it probably just turns people away from watching my streams even more than my bad content. So I will probably turn off ads after I see that I've only made like 50 cents. 3 ads. I will probably turn off the ads after today's stream if I don't forget. I will also forget, so I won't turn them off for the next 5 weeks until I actually do it during a stream. Which I don't want to do now though. Because you're giving me good money. No, I make like 2 cents with each ad you watch. And Twitch probably makes 10 times that, but who cares, right? But what? No, that is devious. I have to edit that in my settings. It is absolutely devious. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can look into that right now. I'm just going to not stream my Twitch page right now. Maybe. Wouldn't be the smartest thing I've done. My creator dashboard. Right. Monetization. Or probably under analytics though. There. I have made... Wow. In the last 30 days, have I made a total of 5 cents. That is also devious. They don't even have that many different ads. That is crazy. But this is so devious. It is so devious. I made 5 cents in 30 days. How much do I have until I get my first 50 bucks? Damn. Wait, what? Yeah, this is crazy. That is so devious. I have made 1 cent this January. 3, 1. I apparently I need 50 for them to pay me. I don't get this. I thought they'd pay me out when I get 50 in total. Also, I don't know if I actually... Switzerland government, please close your ears. I don't actually know if I need to do anything else other than just log in into Twitch and like... I don't know if I need to officially make myself... like an actual real... company or something, like in Germany, but I don't think it's that crazy in Switzerland. In Germany is absolutely devious. If you want to get money from Twitch, you have to go to like some place, I don't even know how it's called, and you have to tell them that you want to make a business and all that only to get a Twitch channel. And I think you have to pay like a registration fee, which is probably more than I would make in 10 years of Twitch. So I hope Switzerland does not have that. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep my money back on Twitch until I can afford it, and then pay out like 200 bucks, which probably would be less than the registration fee in Germany. But, or I could just do it illegally, but I don't know, maybe they'll sue me and then I'll have to pay like 50k, which would not be worth it. But I don't know. I also don't really care. I have to look into that at some other point. Anyways, the mud soup texture has to be edited now. Thus I have to open the mud soup texture. The shortest texture name so far, which is crazy. And this time I will not forget to move this over to the right screen. This is the grass stew. It's slightly brighter than it actually is in real life on stream, because for some reason this displays in HDR, and because the stream is in an HDR color space, it displays way too bright. I have no idea why this is the case, but I could just turn off HDR system-wide for this monitor and then it would fix all these issues. Or I just change the display captures properties to force SDR off. Now it's really dark.
Shrek soup.
Can't do that, it's like way too, it seems way too dark. Alright, so we want to stream Splatoon 1 on a Chinese streaming site. But you have to speak like something that is the most furthest away from Chinese you can even get. Like, I don't know, just speak German. Or speak like randomly change between all the languages you know. Or learn some phrases in other random languages, anything but Chinese, and stream on the Chinese sites. Can you even stream on there? Or is it like China exclusive? I have never even heard of that site. Anyways, I need to edit this soup and something's wrong about it. I don't know. It doesn't seem quite correct. Can I just drag this into here? I can. Right, this is the most dead standard soup. No, I don't know it. I actually don't know it. So the mud soup having no fluids in it, it's probably just going to be more like I don't even know. A block of mud in a bowl. Is that everything? It is not. Really? That is actually some crazy... That is some actually crazy stuff. I did not even know that. Also, I think we're going to go to the dirt texture actually, in order to find out where dirt, how dirt actually looks under textures block. Dirt. Might just rip like a random piece of the texture like this. Of course, that is too small. That is going to look so funny. Apparently I need to get like a bigger spot of dirt. That looks like extremely bad. But effectively this is dirt soup.
That's what she said, that's too small and it's going to look funny.
That is crazy. I could also just make it like look like this, because that is more like what it looks like in the actual book. However, the texture stops up there, so I need to grab like the parts from underneath here, and of course the stones align, so it would look like this if I kept it like lore accurate. Doesn't look too bad. A rice bowl. But then I'd have to add rice. And rice has like some really complex farming mechanics in real life. Also, a rice bowl would just look... You know, it would look pretty weird. Because... Wait, actually before I add these, I could just show you that. A rice bowl would probably look like this. Yeah, exactly, that is what I thought. Is this lore accurate rice? Could also make like a black hole soup. Well, honestly, I don't know. But literally adding an item that is... This is like so dumb. I mean, imagine you play the game and you don't have anything to eat, you just have a bit of wood and you start crafting food from grass and dirt. And the grass soup at least takes like a little bit of effort to get the grass because you need shears. But this doesn't need any effort. You can literally just break the dirt blocks. And yeah, obsidian. Yeah, no, it did look kind of... Now I have it on one layer, but if I make this darker, kind of... If I make this like purple, now we have an obsidian bowl. There. That should be about obsidian. It's just purely obsidian. It's... all of it is obsidian. Well, let me save this so we have that in game. I want to save that. So this should work in game now. Technically. Right. Technically. A pixelated Lego hand grabbing a crystal. That is a very specific description, and I do think I know what you mean. Pixel art. Sorry, I literally cannot read. Maybe I am. I can read that. What? Where is it? Why does it look the same? Why does it look the same? What texture did I edit? What texture did I edit? Huh? What the hell? Huh? That is weird. That is extremely weird. Wait, it just turned back. What? Huh? Oh, nah. I edited it on the wrong soup. Shit. I edited mushrooms too accidentally. Oh, that is so stupid. That is so dumb. Oh no. Oh, that is stupid. Now I have to fix that. Oh, that is dumb. The issue is... Look at this. Look at. I'm not gonna do that. This is just going to be the secret. In this texture pack, I've just accidentally added mushroom stew being mud. Yes, you do. Indeed. Now I do want to save this, exactly. Now we should see this working. Hopefully, technically. Bloom or cities? Don't have those in my playlist. Are they copyright free though? They should be. Why doesn't that... It might be, it's... It might be. I'm gonna play it after this. I'm just gonna add both. If that works, I hope that works. I do know both. But I don't know, Monster Cat music is often copyrighted. Right. So the freaking stew. Yeah, no, it's correct. It's still soup, it's not stew, I'm stupid. Stupid. Crab Rave is copyrighted though. That's for sure. Pretty sure it is. Think I've been copyrighted for Crab Rave before. What the hell? The Wandering Trader spawned. What wandering shit do you have to trade? It is literally shit. Oh, I do know that. It's called dirt, not dirt block. Who would have thought? Now we're gonna see if it's copyrighted. Literally, it doesn't matter. Half of my streams are getting copyrighted because of songs that aren't even playing, but YouTube is just stupid and thinks they're playing. Mostly for like, it copyright claims like a 10-second segment of the video. And then thinks I played a different song there because it sounds similar apparently, but it doesn't even sound similar. What is this ordered as? I don't even know. This is so weird. Yeah. It used to not do that, but now it just does. I don't even know why. So what is the freaking... Actually, better idea. I am stupid. Ah, that was pretty cool. That was not cool. The game is really laggy. When I have Discord open and Spotify open, like I can't even hit. I am very sorry, villager. I had to do this. Yeah, yeah, no, that is true, but I've never had this before. Only when it's like recognizing a remix as a non-remix. That happens sometimes. But I've barely ever had it recognize, like, wrongfully copyright me for a song that I didn't play at all. It was often just a very similar song or like a different version. Right. So we have the first item added. The next item is... I don't actually know. I forgot. We are not serious, right? I was just before thinking, if there's a dirt soup, shouldn't I add a crafting variant to add coarse dirt stew or soup? No, because there literally is a different soup that I have to add, which is just the same thing except it's coarse. So we're just going to, in the mod food components here, we're going to copy this shit. I'm going to make it exactly the same, except that this is a stew now, which I don't really get, but we're going to give it a higher saturation modifier because it's stones, right? We're going to give it quite a lot. That is actually a bit too much. We're just going to give it 2. Yes. Coarse dirt stew. Just going to copy that because I don't want to type that out. Really great that I added this custom item there. So now we have to add all the different recipes. Coarse dirt stew. Coarse dirt stew. Coarse dirt stew. Coarse dirt stew. And the crafting recipe, coarse dirt stew, coarse dirt stew, and it is going to be coarse Dirt. Great. And in the Ian thingy here, to make this coarse dirt stew, and great. Alright. Let's try this. No, I don't want to debug run it. I want to run it normally. Yes. Anyways, that means I have to add another texture, which is going to be basically the same, except that I can replace the dirt, the coarse dirt textures, which just has more stone in it. We're making crazy progress here. So under the foods should be a new soup. Stew. Stew. Even though this is the most fluid, probably this is just a ball of dirt, and this is going to be stones mixed with some dirt. And ironically, the next thing that we're going to have to make is a gravel sandwich. You'd probably be better off just eating bread than a gravel sandwich. Also, ironically, I think the books I'm referencing somewhere mentioned that it is impossible to make a hamburger, even though technically you could just make a sandwich with a piece of meat, which would probably resemble the most simplest and earliest form of a hamburger. Right. So, to make a new texture, it's going to be coarse. Did I write that wrong? Oh, we're in items, I'm stupid. Look. Coarse dirt. Yeah, it has some more stones in it. Not many though. I made the texture too small. I'm going to add as many stones to the texture as I can. I think this might work. No. The uppermost stone or the lowermost stone is not going to be visible. I'm going to cut it like this. We're going to have no bottom here. This away. The entire top row is missing too. This is not missing. This here is missing. This here probably. Oh no, it isn't. So then this up until here is missing. That should be it. Oh no, I forgot these. Oh, what the hell. There isn't even really big of that big of a difference in the texture, man. It is so stupid. Good. Now, that should already be it. Let's try that. Apparently my stream is slowly giving up its life. I think it just saved itself. Great. So this is the coarse dirt stew. It works. Is it craftable? It is craftable. And should be here. There it is. Does look really similar if we take them. Wait, there is mud? Oh, there actually is a mud block. Hell. I think I should add an alternative crafting recipe. But the texture... Oh, the texture would be weird. Because this mud and dirt look a lot different. I mean... And then the soup looks like the dirt. I don't think that would be an acceptable... Why does it keep slipping off this? I don't think that would be acceptable. But I don't know. I'll probably just add an alternative crafting recipe. Though I couldn't make it look like mud. Would just be inaccurate to the book. Let's just say you, I don't know, pissed in the soup and then the dirt turned to mud. Because effectively mud is just wet dirt. Or you spat in the soup in the bowl before you did. So I'm going to change the texture because it's annoying me that it isn't accurate. Because it isn't called dirt soup, it is called mud soup. Also close that shit. The mud soup. Mud soup should technically be mud, I think. At least this crafting recipe should definitely be mud. Now, do I want to make it craftable from dirt? Do I? I do not know if I want to do that. This is a difficult decision. It's called mud soup. It can definitely be made from mud. But should I make it possible to make it from dirt? Technically, it's possible. Technically. But do I? Do I make it from mud? only from mud. I think I'm going to just make it only from mud. Because the soup in the image could have also been coarse dirt stew. Thus meaning mud soup doesn't actually have to exist separately as like a derivative from dirt, and I think it just makes more sense if we make the mud soup look like actual mud. The issue, I don't have the mud texture. Pretty sure 116 didn't have mud. So this is the first thing that the book accidentally references that did not exist before. When it was written, it was probably just thought like meant to be I need like the newest version. Download. Should be a zip, right? Perfect. Minecraft resource packs. Save that there. A very small file. Not gonna lie. It's only 5 megabytes. It's crazy. Extract. Oh, that is going to take a while. A few minutes, actually. During that time, I can just grab the texture from... What? I went to assets, Minecraft, textures. Where's textures? Textures. Block. Now there we should. The acacia leaves are animated? Since when? Mud. I can't open it. Now that worked. Perfect. Just gonna select this. That actually worked much better than I thought, and I don't know why it worked. Invert that selection, delete that shit. And we have actual mud soup. Also, I think the mud being relatively fluid, I think we can safely use a regular stew or soup the where is it? It's the freaking grass stew, right? Open a grass stew texture, and we just take that. I think that should be everything. Is this the outline that the bowl usually has? It is not. This is. I think that just makes more sense. But it's also thick enough to probably not overflow, maybe, potentially. So it might work. We don't do like an overflow. Like with the grass soup, because that is apparently mashed grass, because it's soup, so it's fluid. Also, beetroot soup, I don't think that actually has like an overflowing edge. I think. So that is going to be our new mud soup. That should look according. It should look right in game. Let's see. Perfect. Yeah, I think that does look pretty decent. Yeah, no, that does look pretty good. However, mud soup is now harder to obtain, so I would probably make both of them slightly better. Currently it has a nutrition of 1 and a saturation modifier of 1. This requires a I think we're going to give this more. Are we going to give this that much? And this I'm going to give like, I should give you like literally every disease on the planet, because coarse dirt, okay, it's probably less inhabited by all sorts of worms and other tropical or swamp entities. I don't know. If you were to actually make a mud soup, you'd probably eat like, I don't know, like a leech and probably half a frog and like 20 million different types of bacteria, but also it's a relatively easy one to actually find mud. So I'm going to just leave that as is, and the coarse dirt stew, we're just going to give it that somehow yeah, no, that does make sense. It barely fills because it's freaking dirt. But once you're full, it probably stays for quite a while, because actually that does make it a really good food source. Because due to it not having a good nutrition but a very good saturation modifier, if you eat a lot of coarse dirt stew, you would actually barely ever lose hunger. So that is pretty crazy, I think. Yeah, I think we can leave that as is with the relatively high hunger thing. So the recipe has changed, but it should still be unlocked because it still has the same recipe ID, so we can leave that as is. Next thing I need to add is the sandwich, and this is actually for once not a stew. We've only added soups and stews for the past 3 items, which is devious. So this one's going to be the gravel. I can't write. Where is that key? Now I need to. Yeah, right. It's not written like the which. It's written like the not which. Perfect. Now in the mod food components, yeah, this is probably going to be exactly the same. Right, so this is going to be gravel sandwich with a nutrition. We can now. This is difficult. How do you craft a gravel sandwich? I think you would use bread. Is what I am suspecting you would use to craft a sandwich. So we'd probably do shaped crafting for this one. This is going to be the first thing that is actually shaped, because it's going to be interesting to do. It's going to be really interesting crafting recipe. Regular bread is a shaped crafting recipe, and we're just going to do it a bit differently. We're going to make it. This is the first shaped crafting recipe, by the way. This is like a huge moment. Everything else so far wasn't shaped, and I think I should make the ice cream shaped, because it doesn't make sense to have the stick like literally anywhere. So I think I should make the ice creams shaped. The eggs make sense that they're unshaped. Stews and soups make sense too, because their vanilla counterparts are also unshaped. However, a bread, I need to find out what saturation modifier a bread has, because I want the gravel sandwich to give you do I want this to give you an advantage or a disadvantage? Because I don't even know. It restores 5 hunger. And it has a 6 saturation. Now, if we add, I'm probably going to make the crafting recipe, bread, gravel, and then another bread. Well, that will give you 2 sandwiches, probably. Because I kind of don't know how else I would do this. So I'm going to do bread, gravel, bread. This texture is going to be difficult, and I don't know if I can even attempt to make it, because it's kind of difficult. I would probably have to cut the bread apart and just add a bit of the gravel texture in between. I mean, it should probably restore similar amounts of nutrition as a regular bread does. It should probably. This has 6. The regular bread has 6. So if we added it like this, it would be precisely the same as regular bread. Now, do I want it to have an advantage or a disadvantage? I could make it a perfect side grade. That would also work, but it is described to be extremely bad tasting. And honestly, I think this you know, ice cream is really small, I would figure, in compared, like, if you eat an ice cream on a stick, you don't really fill up your hunger in real life. And it also doesn't stay for very long. You could probably eat an ice cream again pretty much right after. That's why they barely have any saturation. However, if you eat a sandwich, you're going to be full. And if you eat like a full ass bread without anything in it, it will probably be dry. However, if you add gravel, it will be even more dry. And this is basically, it describes how fast you can eat again, and this is how fast you can eat again. Oh, these values are pretty stupid. They could have also just wait, this is how fast it's going to stay, how fast you're going to stay full. And this is how much it fills you. So, you're probably going to stay full for longer. And it probably also fills you more. But it's going to be really hard to eat. Now this, I've made it that it is really not very tasty. But it stays for a while. I think we could make that, make use of this too. We're going to give it less nutrition. Does that make sense? We're cutting a bread in half and you lose half a hunger bar, but you add gravel, you add stones to your bread. Probably yes, because you wouldn't probably eat it very carefully. You probably eat less. Respectfully, if somebody gave me a gravel sandwich, I would probably scrape out the gravel and then half of the bread too. So I would probably give it, giving less nutrition and less saturation. But if we ate the stones too, yeah, that would probably give you quite good saturation. So we're going to give it 0.4 more saturation than regular bread. And if this is too OP, because effectively it just makes bread worse but better in another way, but because we're not overcompensating the saturation, nutrition with saturation, it is still very bad. So that's that. I don't know if that was explained somewhat. Understandably, probably not. I should just add the gravel sandwich. It's already getting late. Right, the gravel sandwich has been added here. It has, however, not been added here. Whoopsie. What the helly? Don't even know what add I have to use. Just going to copy that. Gravel sandwich. Right, now we have to add the gravel sandwich to everywhere else too. Items. Gravel sandwich. Gravel sandwich. Gravel sandwich. Gravel sandwich. Now this one will be funny. Gravel sandwich. Now this will be... I have to find like a good recipe. What is a shaped recipe that can be crafted in different spaces technically bread here is probably the best recipe. Either bread, probably bread. The bread crafting recipe. It's gonna be funny to find. That's the recipe. Right, it says crafting shaped. Ah. Alright, I need to open another crafting recipe that is shaped in a different way. For example, cake. This block states, this items, block, item, loot tables, food. Where the hell is the crafting recipe? Oh, there it is, the recipe. Right, so this is AAB. So they usually use AB, and if it's one item, you use hash. So we're going to take the bread recipe. It's the most similar. Minecraft crafting shape category. We're going to give it my goofy ass category called food, which is same as miscellaneous. I'm just doing this for myself. I'm going to do A and then B. Whoopsie doopsie. And then B. And that would be gravel. And A is going to be Minecraft bread. It's also going to be Minecraft. Then the pattern is going to be ABA respectively. Going to be A, B, A. Don't know if that works. Should work. And it gives you count 2 of minus mods. Why can I? Gravel sandwich. That should work. Should work. Yeah. Should work. Now the naming part. This is going to be gravel sandwich, and this is going to be a gravel sandwich. I hope this works. Now we're going to add a texture. Gravel sandwich PNG. Didn't think I'd ever be doing this. Gravel sandwich. Technically I could also make the sandwich be craftable from like more base materials. Technically. For example, wheat. Now we have the texture of this soup here as the base, but I actually need bread as a base. So the issue where the hell is this? Exactly. I'll probably delete the template now that it has opened itself. Under textures, item, there should be bread. Need to open this as a new layer. Now the issue I'm facing is bread is can only be turned in 90-degree increments, thus making it impossible to be turned any way differently than like this. And effectively it can only be spaced. I'm going to see if I can find a sandwich texture. And I have in fact found a really nice sandwich texture. And I'm apparently... Wait, this is actually crazy. This is crazy. I'm not the first person that wants to make a sandwich like this. That is actually devious. That is like exactly what my crafting recipe is going to be. Right. But I need a texture. And the best texture I can find that isn't just a 1 pixel spaced bread, which is what I initially wanted to do. But actually this is what I found. And I could fill this with gravel. Now, how is this done? We should be able to change the size of this to 16. Can I just 16 pixels without any major downscaling problems and put that in here? Now, it's probably not color accurate anymore, which is what I fear. Now, if we could just turn that off, we don't actually need some of this. However, it does look weird when we cut this off. This probably should actually be part of the bread. Right. I'm going to make it... Yeah, we're going to do it like this and then fill this with gravel. Yeah, right, I was right. The colors aren't perfectly accurate anymore, due to what I figure is compression. Let's take this brightest tone. Oh no, it actually isn't compression, most likely. It's most likely me downscaling it, actually. They do change a little bit. Don't know if I already did all those. They do change a bit in their respective color. I did some stupid shit. Actually dumb. Of course I can't see a difference if I'm not on the right layer. Stupid me. Next darker. Next darker. Yeah, so also I added a few, just a few, too many pixels. Is this the same color? That is crazy that that's the same color. Right, so this is now color accurate to real bread, except that we also have a few extra pixels. Right, this is now accurate. So we can remove the bread. Now what we need is gravel. Oh, sandwich. Yes, sandwich. But it's going to get worse. This is the original, and you wouldn't believe what I'm about to do. Right, I'm going to select everything. It's going to be stupidly difficult to select, so I'm gonna do it this way. Select everything here. Stupid. This is gravel sandwich. Actually, I don't think this pixel ever existed. It did exist. I don't want it though. Or do I? Nah. Maybe I do. Yeah, this is like an absolutely devious sandwich. Is this like a good? The texture is completely just noise. Alright, gravel sandwich. And it's not even going to be bad. This is like an actually viable food source. It's like a totally legit food source that some may even prefer over actual bread. It doesn't really give any benefits, but it's also not bad either. So that's that. So this should be totally working on the first try. Mod soup this shit and the gravel sandwich. It looks tasty in its own way. Not all that bad. This is so stupid. Now this should be craftable by using bread. And gravel. If you put a bread here, this here, that there, it should give you 2 sandwiches. Should also work here. Should also work here. That gives you 2 sandwiches. And that also adds them to this. Yes, so many sandwiches. Not bad. Not too bad. Neominous gravel sandwich. Yes, yes, yes. And I think with these 3 totally useless foods added to the game, I'm probably going to yeah, that's probably going to be it for today, honestly. I've already been streaming for already almost 2 hours, and I still have to find out if the stream actually sounded good. I've gotten used to how transparent the audio of this headset is. I can literally hear myself way clearer than on the old one, because this one is an open headset. Can I just hold it closed? Wait, literally. I can literally just close the openings that they added and basically make it a closed back headset instead of an open back, which mimics the sound of the old one pretty closely, as in passive noise cancelling. Right, so we've added some pretty cool stuff that is pretty cool. Pretty cool, I gotta say. So I'm just going to upload this, I guess. Yeah, probably going to upload this. Just do that. Actually, I could have literally left those open because it's the exact thing I need to continue on next time. It's just quite a lot of recipes and shit that I've added so far. We currently have foods, eggs, and other stuff. I'm going to actually give this another space because it's annoyingly close together. Did I actually... Yo, I added a crafting recipe for cake, didn't I? Or did I not? I didn't. Oh, I did. The colored egg cake crafting recipe. Which is a copy of the cake crafting recipe. Using the hashtag colored eggs. So did I here? No, this not here. Here. No, here. Is that shapeless? I didn't even know that was shapeless. Well, that's going to be it for today. I'm going to quickly commit this because this will be the mud stew plus coarse dirt soup. No, this is the stew and this is the mud soup. And the gravel sandwich. This is mud soup, right? It is mud soup. Great, so that would be that. We're going to commit and push that. Push. Should probably look at the origin master, the thing on the GitHub. But yeah, it's gonna be it. At least we added some stuff. It's still not all the goofy ass items from this page. Yes, there is a full page. The next thing, probably the next 3 items I'm going to add like next stream, is going to be the cooked spider legs, which that is going to be a bit difficult. Because how the hell do you obtain cooked spider legs? Now that one's going to be fun. So that's probably going to be one entire stream. And then slime pie and watermelon drink. And the slime pie... Oh, it's a pie, it's not a slime cake. So we don't have to add a model and a block to it. I don't want slime to be the first block I had. Like a cake. It's going to be pie, not cake. And a watermelon drink is mentioned 2 pages later. And it is a drink, so I have to find out how to add drinks. Because I wanted to behave like honey, but use the sound of a... Actually, I will... I don't even know if I want to give this any saturation at all, or any hunger restoration. Yeah, well, water doesn't... Water bottles don't give you any saturation, nor any nutrition. Technically, you could add a drink that just gives you saturation but no nutrition, which would be a fun thing. So basically, effectively, if you drink it, you just lose hunger less quickly, which would actually make sense for a water bottle, like not even joking. Because oftentimes when we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. So by drinking something, you basically reduce your hunger, but like you increase the time until you're hungry again, but you don't actually eat anything, so you're not like, you don't actually get any nutrition, but your saturation does actually increase. Like if you apply this to real life, you're not getting nutrients from water, but you're getting saturation from water. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Technically, we could add that to that melon drink, or like make it like really, really low nutrition. I wonder if you could technically add a nutrition that is lower than 1, or if it's just full value. It's probably... going to either throw an arrow around down or up to the nearest full number, natural number. Right, anyways, that is going to be it for me for today. And I'm going to see y'all next week. Next week's the last stream before I have to go to work, sadly. And I did think I would be streaming at least once, like 2 times a week, but I did not even 1 week of the entire, about like what, 5-6 weeks that I wasn't in military, since I'm not in military anymore. I didn't even stream once, like more than once a week, I think. Maybe, nah. Or did I? Did I once stream with Lampus? Like on an off day that wasn't Saturday? Actually, that peak stream could have been like the second stream a week. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it no, I don't think it was. I think they just asked me if I was going to stream. So it was on a Saturday. Oh, god damn it. Well, anyways, goodbye everyone. And until, well, next week definitely. I'm going to see if I'm doing 2 streams. I should also stream on my second channel at some point again, to just drop some content. Because I've not uploaded a real video there in, again, what was it? How long was it? Quite a while. So yeah, goodbye everyone. But I gotta check what that was. Oh. That was a year ago.